We are also learning more about the suspect behind a deadly stabbing spree across Manhattan on Monday. 3 people were attacked at random, killed, just a month after that suspect was released from jail. Ramon Rivera, a homeless man with 8 prior arrests and a history of mental illness, got an early release from jail due to good behavior, raising questions about the circumstances leading to that release. And the I-Team's Melissa Russo is in the newsroom now. Melissa, I understand you have exclusive new details about that offer that got him out of jail early.
Yeah, we do. I just
have to say my condolences to the people who were killed, their families. I know that they're going through it. New York State dropped the ball. There's so many deranged people that should be locked up. I know that people might say, well, they may not deserve to be locked up in a regular jail with regular people. True, but we need to open up mental institutions so these people can get the help and the treatment that they need. Because if they need to take medication and they're not taking it on their own, then they need to be supervised. Because if this man was supervised, knowing his crazy acts, if he was supervised, this crime would not have happened. It's sad. 3 people would still be walking among us, living their lives.
Been looking into the past of this case, and it was completely impossible for the prosecutors and the courts and the city jail system to predict specifically that Ramon Rivera would be accused of killing 3 people 1 month after being released. But critics and criminologists say that there were some missteps, like a lenient offer by prosecutors and a lack of focus on Rivera's schizophrenia diagnosis that in hindsight should have been handled differently.
See, and that's another thing. People who suffer from schizophrenia, they can be cool 1 minute and batshit crazy the next. And this is where we as a country, I'm telling you, we do a poor job with handling these people with mental health. Now, I'm not saying that you want to just lock them up and throw away the key, but get them the treatment. Part of the deal that I say, listen, if I was the prosecutor, I'm like, all right, homeboy, you want to be out free? Yes. You need to go through treatment. Guess what? You need to, from the court now, you go your ass right to treatment. In fact, we're going to escort you. And if you don't finish the treatment, your ass getting locked up. That's what needs to happen. Because that's the only way that these people are going to be clean and do what needs to be done so that they can live productive lives. Because you want them to. I'm telling you. I used to work as a bus driver. For disclosure, I worked for Accessoride for 11 and a half years. And I'm telling you, I've dealt with some people who were kind of off. And they had PCAs and family around them who supported them and tried to do what needs to be done. We need, as a people, as a country, as brothers and sisters, my American brothers and sisters, we need to do what needs to be done to make sure that people can get the help. But we have to also let them know that if you don't want the help, your ass is getting locked up. We don't got time for that. We don't have time for that. Yes, you want to be gentle. Yes, you want to be compassionate, but you also have to protect yourself. That's most important. Self-preservation.
Ramon Rivera was on Rikers Island facing burglary charges when he got into deeper trouble in May. Rivera kicked a correction officer and smacked her into a wall after being sent to the Bellevue psych ward for his behavior in the jail. The incident could have resulted in a longer jail sentence that would have
Which should have happened. Let me tell you, my mom, for about 9 months, was a correction officer. I told her, you need to get out of there. You need to go back to where you, the job that you was doing working for the city. Forget all that. It is not worth it. My heart goes out to the women that's there doing what they got to do, but men should be controlling men. Women should be with women. Men should be with men. Shouldn't have any women correction officers with these crazed out nut jobbers. Look at this man. Look at this man in this picture right here. Looking hella unkept. I wouldn't want any woman to have to house him, not house him, but have to go and try to make sure that he don't hurt himself or hurt others in the correction facility. Nah, man, hell no.
Rivera behind bars last Monday, the day he allegedly stabbed and killed 3 innocent people. But court...
Oh, man. Yo, him taking out that knife, That's premeditated. That's premeditated. He took it out of the bag, yo. Oh, jeez Louise. Jesus, take the wheel from this place. Take the wheel.
Transcripts obtained by the I-Team show that in September, Rivera took a deal offered by the Manhattan DA's office. Plead guilty to attempted assault in exchange for 90 days in jail. But Rivera did not have to serve 90 extra days because the prosecutor said that sentence could be made concurrent with the other sentence Rivera was already serving. I don't anticipate this plea will change his expected release date, which is October 17th, 2024, the prosecutor said. The New York City Correction Department also could have kept Rivera incarcerated for the entire 364-day sentence, because after all, he assaulted a correction officer. But instead of remaining on Rikers until next February, law enforcement sources say the city's Department of Correction used its good behavior standard, which meant they released Rivera on October 17th after serving just 2/3 of his sentence. The city's Department of Correction.
Some of these things need to change, man. For real, for real. For real, for real. Like, you gotta have these people who are psychotic, who needs to be evaluated. People, listen, I understand that some people want to be woke and all these things, stuff like that.
Oh, it's the times, you have to be so compassionate.
Listen, it comes a time when you gotta be tough on crime. You gotta be tough on crime. He attacked this lady. You're gonna say, oh, well, even though he did attack her, which was a precursor for what he did when he was outside, even though he did attack her, we're going to allow him to be released into the general public with no proper evaluation, with no saying, if you don't take these medications, homeboy, your ass is going to be back here. No, we're going to just release him to the general population, and we, the people, have to deal with his crazy ass. Come on, man. Sad.
Action has declined to explain why.
First, the district attorney recommending a sentence that would run concurrent was mistake one, and a tragic one at that. Two was the court's decision to accept that plea when the attempted assault could have been run consecutive. The third mistake was that the New York City Department of Corrections decided to award him his good time instead of taking away his good time.
After Rivera assaulted that correction...
Thank you. Like, if he assault a correction officer, why are you rewarding good time? Like, what? I'm trying to figure that one out. I'm so glad he asked that. He said that. Why would you reward what he did? He did a bad thing. Damn, man.
An officer in the psych unit, she tried to kick Rivera back while he was restrained. She was arrested, pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor, and was sentenced to 10 days of community service, according...
Yo. So, he whipped her ass. She tried to kick him back. She gets arrested or detained and had to do 10 days community service. This asswipe gets released and now kills 3 people. You see the most idiotic thing. This is why a lot of people don't want to work. And I don't blame them. It's too many restrictions and things like that. Hell no. Hell no. I would have been like, nah, let's whip his ass. Now, mind you, okay, if I was the correction officer holding him down and she kicked homeboy, I would have looked the other way, okay? I would have been like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? And I would have probably got a couple of good kicks in myself, because you're not going to just beat on one of my female correction officers or either my male correction officers like that and think you're going to get away with it. I'm going to wail on your ass, but that's just me, because I understand the brotherhood of the fraternity of police officers and correction officers and everything. I understand that. As a union person myself, I understand that we got to stick together. But I'm telling you, it's ridiculous out here. And this right here, this is, telling you, their blood, New York State, their blood is on your hands.
According to law enforcement. Sources in the DA's office say given the totality of the circumstances, including the correction officer's illegal conduct and lack of physical injuries, a 90-day concurrent sentence was an appropriate disposition. Meanwhile, a review of the transcripts also shows that while Rivera's defense attorney disclosed in court that his client is a diagnosed schizophrenic who talks about his own mental discontrol and who is not responsive to many questions about his case, Rivera's diagnosis and his apparently deteriorating mental health did not seem to play any role in the decisions about his fate.
So the defense... Good job, defense attorney, for covering your ass. CYA, cover your ass. He told them, this man has a disease. Okay? He's not responsive to certain questions. And you release him anyway.
And former correction commissioner for New York City, Michael Jacobson, who is now serving on the city council's commission to replace Rikers with smaller borough-based jails, said that there may have been some tragic gaps in how this particular case was handled. But he says the bigger picture problem is that keeping prisoners with mental illness longer in jail, especially in a place like Rikers, may only make them worse. He also says our system is missing what some other countries have, which is a specific, secure detention system specifically designed for prisoners with mental illness. Adam?
Yeah. I totally agree with that. Now, I agree with that. And I just said that on the first thing. I said that a person like that may not be needed to be in a regular jail, but should be put into a specialized detained facility just made for their ass, where you have social workers, where you have people who are trained to deal with these people, where you have doctors. Now, you don't have doctors on Rikers, okay? But still, you should have facilities where, listen, this person can get the monitored help that they need. If this person has a severe problem, bring in people who are trained for that. Because guess what? Correction officers are not trained to deal with a psychotic, super psychotic episode from a person who suffered from schizophrenia. They're not trained for that. You should get somebody who went to school for that, who is trained for that, and they know how to do it. But you also make sure that you have correction officers there to, detain the person if need be, but you have people that's trained so that they can be able to help them. This is, like I said, they dropped the ball. They dropped the ball. And they should have, I agree with them, should have little mini sites around the city for these people. Not just one main site, and then you have a correction officer like that lady who he beat up, she retaliated, and she gets in trouble. Just sad, man. Just sad, guys. But what do you guys think about this situation, man? I'm pissed off about it, and I know possibly you are. I would love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate you guys. Really appreciate if you can like it. If you feel like my commentary is worthy of it, please give me a like. Really appreciate that. Please tell me how you feel about this situation. And last but not least, if you can subscribe to this channel, greatly appreciate it. I really appreciate you guys. I really love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please be safe out there. Watch your backs. Take care. Peace.